Okay. So, if I have, what? Are you okay? Olive. Olive! Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You just beeped.
Yeah, I already treated.
Okay.
I gotta wait for my blood.
Okay, cool. Now just making sure. Okay, so if I have 2 and 3/8, and I borrowed from the 2 to make another whole, what would the number be after that? Pretend I got to subtract something from that, and I need to get a whole from the 2. Show me what my number would be underneath it. Just show me. Don't tell me. Show me. I want to know what the number would be if we added the whole to it, Isabella. You showed me the whole, but what would it be if I, what would the new number be? No, Isabella, you are incorrect. Try again. Okay, I don't want you raising your hands right now. Let's give everyone a chance.
Wait, what was the question again?
I'm going to borrow from this 2, and this guy's going to become a 1. What's my fraction going to be then? Pretend I got to subtract a big number. So I'm taking a whole from the 2 and adding it to my fraction. So what would it be? Let me see. No. Incorrect. Logan, incorrect. Remember, friends, I guess I will do one together because you guys aren't understanding. Oop, looks like Jameson might have it. If we take a whole from the 2, we have to add it to the original fraction. So 8 plus 3 is 11. So it would be 1 and 11/8 would be the new number if we borrow from the whole. It would not just be 1 and 8/8. You have to add the original numerator. Okay, well, that's fine, Mia. We've only done one problem. We'll do another one, okay? All right, so we're going to do another problem like that. I'm going to give you a fraction, and you're going to pretend like you're borrowing a whole and change the number for me. Okay. Don't worry about simplifying or anything. All you're doing, pretend like you're borrowing from the 5 and get a whole. So it'll be 4 with some fraction over here. What's your fraction going to be if you borrow a whole from the 5? Mia, I just now saw your email. Sorry. It's okay. You were 1 second late. Not a big deal. When you're done, show me your board. Haley, yours is not correct. What's 8 or 6? I don't know what you're talking about, Ethan. No, we do not need to simplify. Blake, yours is incorrect, bud. You did not add a whole. Jameson, yours is good. Isabella, yours is good. Above the 12 is an 8. Rochelle, good. Angelina, good. You're good. Evan, let me see your board. Good. All right. So our whole would have been 12/12. So it would have been 8/12 plus 12/12, which would have equaled, thank you, love, 20/12. So it would have been 4 and 20/12, okay? Yeah, you can erase. All right. We're going to do a subtraction problem now, okay? Remember, we should be doing this vertically. 9 and 5/6 minus 2 and 3/12. 9 and 5/6 minus 2 and 3/12. Everyone has a chance to be solving this. Do not show me your boards until we're done, or until I ask, okay? I want everyone to have a chance. Zach, are you where you're supposed to be?
Yes.
Are you in a Google Meet?
Yes.
Okay. I just can't see your screen from over here. It's dark. Don't show me your boards yet, please, Isabella. We're waiting until everyone gets a chance. Remember, my class, once you finish your snack, please put your mask back on. All right, would someone like to volunteer to walk me through this question? Jameson, turn on your volume and tell me what I got to do. Be really specific. Pretend like Mrs. Kneifel doesn't know what she's doing. Jameson, are you talking? Because if so, I can't hear you. Is your volume on? Now you're muted. Oh, well, I definitely did not hear you. Try again. There was no volume at all. Or there was no sound at all. That's why I told him to turn it back on. Jameson, are you speaking? Oh my goodness, friends. Okay, Jameson, you're clearly having volume problems. Ethan, would you like to try?
The equivalent fraction of
So first you would count by sixes and then count by 12s.
6.
So
12.
6, 12, 18, and then you would go 12, and then you have your denominator, which is 12, and then you would times 6 by 2 to get to 12, and then whatever you did to the bottom, you have to do the top. So then, what was the number?
So then it's 6 times 2. You were right. So it's 12. And 2 times 5 is
10, and then the 3 12ths you don't have to change. So then you get 7 12ths because when you take that 3 12ths minus the 10 12ths, you get 7, and then that's 12, and then you 9 minus 2, and then that's 7.
cool. So I got 7 and 7 12ths, and so does Ethan. Let me see your boards, friends. Well, don't erase your board. Okay, Evan, so do you see where you made your mistake? How come when you're sitting alone in the back, you are incapable? Do you need to sit back here again? Where did you know where you made your mistake? Okay. Remember, if you didn't solve it or if you didn't solve it correctly, make sure you know where your mistake is, okay? Obviously, we can't be perfect every time, but we need to know where we're making our mistake. Ethan, good job. Thank you for working that out for us. That was good. Okay, let's do another one. Mia, I didn't see your board. Mia, don't erase your board then. Did you listen when Ethan... Wait, no, there's me. That's because 10 minus 3 is 7. It is not 9. 10 minus 3 is 7 over 12. You have to do the numerator minus the numerator, okay? All right, let's do another one. Let's do... How about 3 1/4 minus 1 8/12? That's not what I wanted. I don't want non-captions. 3 1/4 minus 1 8/12. Okay? First step, find your common denominator. I'm going to ask someone else to work us through this one, okay? Remember, you cannot change the orders of the numbers. What's on top has to be what's subtracting what's on bottom. Mia, I know you're not done. No one's done yet, I hope. I just started it. Evan, your common denominator. I see a few people still writing, so we're going to wait another minute until we have someone work it out, okay? I want everyone to have a chance. Stop asking me if you can explain. I'm just going to pick people, okay? I'm going to pick people that I think are going to do a good job explaining. I haven't done the problem. I don't know what the correct answer is yet. If that is the correct answer, you didn't simplify. All right. Isabella H., turn on your volume. Please explain.
So first you have to find your LCD, which is 12, and then
How did you find that?
12, because 4, 8, and then 12,
So now then,
and then
it's addition.
12 is just,
I don't have to do any borrowing.
Got it. Okay, so remember, we count by 4s and we count by 12. 12's our common one. Then what do we do, Isabella?
and then 12 times 1 is 12,
So I got an answer of 10,
and
17,
then
17 over 21.
I don't know why we would do 12 times 1. There should be no, we're not there yet. You definitely skipped a step.
Morgan, I don't know if you got that
We need
answer
to make
right.
them have the same common denominator. Right now, they don't have the same.
4 times 3
Why
equals
are we doing
12.
4 times 3? Remember, you got to explain good. Everyone wants to hear this.
Because the denominator is 4.
That doesn't explain why we need to multiply by 3.
4 times 3 is 12, so
But, okay, so we have to multiply it by 3 because that's how many times you have to multiply 4 to get to 12. Times 3. Then we will have 3 and 3/12. Do we need to change this one? Everyone, yes, shake your head, yes or no? No. I need someone else to tell me what we do now. Thank you, Isabella. Someone else work me through the second half. Paisley, work me through the second half. What do I do now?
So after you find your common denominator, you're gonna have to
We're past
it's
finding our common
3/12.
denominator.
and you what?
We've already found our common denominator, and we've already multiplied it so they have the same denominator. Look where we are at. We have 3 and 3/12 minus 1 and 8/12. Tell me what my next step is. My next step
Okay,
is to
so
subtract. Can
you're
I
gonna
subtract 8?
you
I
can't
didn't have
subtract.
the LCD.
So what do I do?
So you're gonna have to cross off the 3 and make it a 2, the whole,
Okay.
and then you're gonna do 3/12 plus 12 over 12,
Which equals?
15/12.
So Amia, here's how you find the LCD.
So now I have 2 and 15/12 minus 8 over 12. What is 5? All right. Thank you, Paisley. Cadence, tell me what I do next. I have 2 and 15/12 minus 8/12.
So you're gonna subtract that, which equals 7/12,
So now,
and then
14
subtract your whole numbers,
is going to say,
which equals 1.
So our final answer is 1 7/12.
I'm going
Let me see your boards. Evan. Let me see that. You cannot subtract 4 from -8. That would be -4. And we are not working with negative numbers. All right. Thank you, friends. Let's try another one. I know these problems are kind of tricky, which is why it's really important that we're explaining it well to our classmates and that you're asking questions. And if you made a mistake, just know where you made your mistake. If you're not sure where you made your mistake, make sure you catch my attention and I can double check your board and we can find your mistake. Okay. 10 5/10 minus 9/30. 3 9/30. Sorry, I'm terrible at saying this. 10 5/10 minus 3 9/30. First step, find your common denominator. What is the common denominator between 30 and 10? Evan, why don't you come sit up here? Come join me, sir. Sorry. Evan, come on. You're finding your least common denominator right now. What is the least common denominator between 10 and 30? So if 9/30 is on the bottom, why are you trying to subtract 15 from 9? For the 100th time, you cannot switch the order. Let me see your pen. If the 15/30 is on top, it has to stay on top. You cannot switch the order of subtraction. You can switch the order of multiplication and addition. You cannot switch the order of subtraction or division. You cannot subtract 15 from 9. You can't do it because we are not working with negative numbers. And that's not even the order. So it is this way. That is why we are really stressing the vertical. When you put it this way, you put it in a random order. You have to put it in the order that it is on the board. Okay? Have to.
What if you just put it in your head as
No.
a bigger number first?
Well, you're not doing that though. You're not even doing that in your head. So why not put it on your board so we can see your work, A, and B, yeah, the bigger numbers are always going to be first when you're doing subtraction until further notice. I don't think we really work with negative numbers in 5th grade that much. So do it like that. Okay? What's on top needs to stay on top in subtraction. Okay. Michaela. All right. Mrs. Kneifel is going to work us through this one because we're running short on time. The first thing I need to do is find my least common denominator. Okay? My least common denominator. I'm going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30. I'm going to count by 30. 30, 60. Oh, what's my common denominator? 30. That means I do not need to change 3 9/30. That's going to stay there and it's going to stay on the bottom. Then I do need to change my first one. I need to make the denominator 30. How many times do I multiply 10 to get to 30? 1, 2, 3. So top and bottom times it by 3. 10 times 3 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. Move my 10 over, move my 3 over. 15 minus 9 is 6. That's a terrible line. Is 6 over 30. 10 minus 3 is 7. So I got 6 No, I got 7 and 6/30ths, but I'm not done because these are both even numbers, which means I can simplify. Both of these go into 3. Mrs. Kneifel knows they're both even, so I could have done 2, but Mrs. Kneifel knows that 3 goes into 6 and 3 goes into 30. So if I divide both by 3, I get 7 and 2/10, which can be simplified again. 2 and 10, guess what? Those are both even. So I can simplify that again by 2, which is 7 and 1/5. Your final answer should be 7 and 1/5. So you can simplify more than once. The first time I simplified was by 3. I got 2/10, but that's not as low as it can go. You can go by 2 as well. So divided by 2, you get 1/5. So final answer. Okay, you can do it. Why not just simplify it? Because I wanted to do by 3 first, Landon. You could have done 2 to begin with. But if you did it by 2 one time, Landon, you would still get 6/10, or you would still get 2/10. Or no, you would get 3/15. And then you would still need to simplify again, okay? Okay. Any questions? We're going to get the next problem right, okay? All right. Let's do one more problem. Yes, Isabella.
So I simplified it by 2, and then I got 3/15. But how? You can't simplify anything by 3.
If you simplified it by 2, you would get 3/15. But guess what? That can be simplified again because 3 and 15 can be simplified. So then you would divide it by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 15 5 times. Regardless if you did 2 then 3 or 3 then 2, it has to be simplified twice to get down to 1/5, okay? Or you could have simplified it by 6 because 6 goes into itself and 6 also goes into 30. So if you simplified it by 6, you would have only had to simplify once. If you simplified by 2 or 3, you had to do it twice, okay? Okay. We have 4 minutes. Let's get this one done. Actually, we have a little bit more than 4 minutes because if we go over, it's okay. 8 and 2/16 minus 1 and 4/8. That says 2/16. You wrote a 3. Why are you erasing the whole thing if there's only one number that you need to fix?
Because I missed the whole thing and put that on the bottom. And you said to put
No.
the bigger number on top.
It is right here. That is the bigger number. You are setting it up the way I'm setting it up. That number is not bigger. That number is bigger.
Then why do I set it up like that and you tell me it's wrong?
You did not have it set up like that when you came over here earlier. I said you had the 2 wrong. You wrote a 3. You had one number out of all those numbers wrong and you erased everything. I did not say how you set it up was wrong. I said you wrote a 3 when it's a 2. Write it the way I have it, please. Minus 4/8. Find your common denominator. I'm not sure why you're changing that. It needed to be 8. Can you subtract 2 from 8? No. So what do you need to do then? No, you need to borrow. You cannot just flip them because you feel like it. We are subtracting the top number from the bottom number. Okay? So if the top number is too small, that is why we borrow from the whole. So borrow from the whole. So that 8 becomes a 7. And this becomes a what? The whole is 16/16. So now what is it? Yes. So now we have 18/16 minus 8. So we have 10 over 16. And then you have to do your whole number too. 7 minus 1. Now simplify. What goes into both of those? Thank you. All right, friends, we are about out of time, so we're going to run through this really quick. The first thing I have to do is find my common denominator, which is, if I count by 16, 16, 32. If I count by 8, 8, 16. Oh, look, it is 16. I do not need to change 8 and 2/16. That's staying just like that. Minus 1. 16 is my denominator. How many times do you have to multiply 8 to get 16? Twice, which is 8. If you keep it vertically, like this, keep it vertical, sir, everyone else, you can see, oh, look, I need to fix my fraction because I cannot take 8 away from 2. So I need to borrow from my whole. So my whole is going to become a 7. A whole would be 16 over 16. 16 plus 2 is 18 sixteenths minus 8 over 16. 18 minus 8 is 10 over 16. 7 minus 1 is 6. I'm not done. I have to simplify. Both of these are even. I can divide by 2. 2 divided by 10 is 5. Divided by 16 is, oops, I just wrote the wrong number. Divided by 16 is 8, and it is 6. 6 and 5/8. Okay? Angelina, I'm not sure why you have 3. It is 5/8. 6 and 5/8. Let me see your boards, friends. 6 and 5/8. All right, you guys did a good job today. Thank you for working hard.
Bye.
Bye.
Just go home.
See you later. Do that right now. Let me see it. See ya. No, keep it vertical. So put that number on top. Don't move it sideways. Because when you, no, that number can stay on the bottom. But when you move it sideways, you put it in the wrong order. That's fine. Now put the other number on top that's